Hello friends, welcome to our course Threat Hunting in Cyber World. So in this part, we'll be looking at threat hunting using SIEM. So as you remember our threat hunting definition, threat hunting is basically searching something. Searching any kind of anomalies or any kind of malware behaviors or any kind of adversary behaviors into your environment. And the platform which will be used for searching something is your SIEM platform. So we need to have proper and useful data to hunt for threats into your enterprise, right? So if there is no proper or a useful data to look out for threats, we would be missing any kind of data threats into your organization because we won't be having a proper data to look out for it. So that's why I told the endpoint logs are very much important for those purposes. So what is SIEM? So SIEM is basically security information and event management. It's a tool which will be useful to help us to look out for any kind of anomalies into environment. So SIEM is basically a tool which provides you the holistic view of entire organization scenario by collecting logs from multiple devices into your from your enterprise network. So it collects logs from your perimeter devices. It collects logs like firewall, IDS, IPS. It collects logs from your proxy. It collects logs from your endpoint devices. It collects logs from your web server. Collects logs from your server, application server, each and every devices of your IT. So once all those data sources of IT has been integrated into your SIEM will be able to provide a holistic view of entire IT infrastructure. So once you get all those logs into your SIEM platform, then you need to hunt out for any kind of threats. Basically, by looking at the entire MITRE attack scenarios, techniques, and then looking at the procedures of those techniques, understanding the mitigation, creating a detection rule or creating a detection query out of it, and then looking out for the threats. So SIEM also has a feature of integrating threat intelligence feeds. So in addition to the threat intelligence feeds into your SIEM is very useful for querying the log database to identify any kind of anomalies. So that's what I said. The threat intelligence part is good, but your threat intelligence would be the indicators of compromise. But would it be enough or suffice to look out for the threats into environment? I don't think so, because with respect to threat intelligence, it is a intel out of any kind of a threat which is there. But what if the intel gets changed, or what if the behavior of a malware gets changed? In that scenario, you need to understand the malware, you need to understand any kind of zero days which is out there, you need to understand its behavior, look out for the similar kind of behaviors into your environment using any kind of search queries into your SIEM. So what are the various types of vendors we have in your SIEM? You have McAfee vendor for your SIEM, you have ArcSight, QRadar, and open source tools such as Elasticsearch. So ELK is a very uh, important and a very hot topic right now in the SIEM platform, which uses Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana, a combination of these three open source tools to create an SIEM platform. So that's SIEM for you. So SIEM is basically a system or a tool which collects logs from each and every data source into your IT infrastructure. And then after the logs has been collected, that's on you what you need to do with the logs. So what we need to do with the logs, we need to search something useful so that we can search any kind of anomalies into your environment. So now let's look at some use cases. So that's a SIEM platform for you. That's an Elasticsearch platform wherein these are the various dashboard views you can see, or views of a holistic view where you can get the data with respect to stats. That's the raw logs, or you can say the logs which we are integrated into the SIEM. It has been parsed using various type of parsers in Logstash, Kibana, and Elasticsearch, and based on the parsing we would be able to search or type a search query out here. So see here, uses key query syntax. So that's where different SIEM vendors uses different query syntax, and that's where your Sigma rules comes into picture. So remember Sigma 2 project, wherein all those Sigma rules has been converted into respect to SIEM vendors. So where there is Elasticsearch also, you can just use those queries out here to look out for any kind of threats into your environment. So one use case out here with respect to threat hunting, a famous email word or Excel macro attachment. So what exactly is that? Any kind of phishing email contains, which you get from any unknown vendor, you get a word or a macro file, and those docx or an Excel file will be a macro based files, right? So it will be a macro written inside that file. So once you save and run those files, a macro contains a script which will initiate a PowerShell or command prompt or any other maliciousness activities. And once PowerShell is executed, as PowerShell is being a legitimate tool, it uses Mimikatz for any kind of credentials dumps or gaining access or hashes from the memory or many other things which you can do from PowerShell. Various commands will be executed using Mimikatz after that. So Mimikatz can be used for credentials dumping, Mimikatz can be used for the certificate dumping, and you can use pass the hash attack and many more with respect to Mimikatz and PowerShell. So in this scenario, there is a process chain which is attached to this entire life cycle, wherein there will be first explorer.exe, which will be opening the Outlook application. Then Outlook will be opening that WinWord, which is come as an attachment to your email. This WinWord files, once which is saved and open, will execute a macro file which has a VBA script. So in backend it uses wscript.exe process to execute this VBA macro or VBA script. And once this wscript.exe process is executed, after that it initiates the PowerShell prompt or any kind of error prompt or a command prompt based on the working of a malware or maliciousness of that application or the attacker. So this is how a threat hunting process chain flows works. So now this is a simple scenario where each and every process seems to be legitimate one. None of the process seems to be a malicious one, right? So none of your antivirus will point out an error saying that some malicious process is being executed, because Outlook is legitimate, Word is legitimate, WScript legitimate by signed binary, PowerShell is a signed binary, everything is a signed binary. So that's what the aim of the attacker is right now. They are using the legitimate process to carry out the work into the environment or the endpoint, and they start from the initial access, they do the privilege escalation, they take the system as a compromise, then they do the persistence. Each and every phase is being used with the help of the legitimate process. So none of your antivirus or any kind of endpoint solutions or any kind of other solutions will throw an alert saying that something maliciousness is happening. So how can you hunt out for such kind of scenarios? So in this scenario, maybe the aim of the attacker was to execute Mimikatz commands to get any kind of credential dumps from your system. So this is a post-exploitation way of looking onto environment. So in this scenario, you can actually create a search query into your based on saying that the parent process may be a Word file, and any kind of child process with respect to WScript or PowerShell or command prompt, if executed, you can just throw me an alert. The parent process WinWord and the child process saying this WScript or run-dl32 or PowerShell or command prompt, just throw us an alert or just search out for such search queries. So here you can type search queries based on your syntax, like even if it is Elasticsearch, if it is McAfee, if it is ArcSight, or if it is QRadar, you can just write this, you can just use this search query or a logic wherein the parent process is something and the child process is something. So this is a kind of an abnormal behavior which an adversary uses into your environment. So just use a search query and search out for such kind of scenarios based on the logs which you have in your environment. And if any kind of output of such queries returns, you need to investigate those output. That's where your manual intervention or triage comes into picture with respect to threat hunting. So that's a single use case of threat hunting which I have provided over here. So the event viewer logs in SIEM can be very useful to hunt out for multiple threats. So in the event viewer, you get system, application, and security logs, wherein your 4624 logon events, any kind of 4771, any kind of special privileges assigned to a user, all such kind of logs. We'll be looking at all those threat hunting hunts in our next part. So this event viewer logs will be very much useful. As I said previously, endpoint logs, the registry level, the file level, the process level activities will be very much useful. And sysmon can be used to collect such logs specific to endpoint systems. You can use sysmon to collect all such specific logs with respect to a sysmon configuration file, and then you can actually collect all those logs into a SIEM or an EDR platform and just continue your threat hunting using those logs. Search queries are useful in identifying any kind of malicious behavior, as we already seen in this example where the parent process is something and the child process is something. So in this scenario, this should not be the ideal way wherein a Outlook opens a Word and a Word file should not open any kind of W script or a PowerShell prompt. So that's an abnormal behavior. In addition to threat intelligence and search queries, analytics is being used in SIEM nowadays. So many of the SIEMs have a machine learning module which uses UEBA or any kind of user entity behavioral analytics, which automatically learns out your logs. It creates a baselining, and any kind of anomalies or any kind of behavior which is other than those baselining, it points out a alert or a peak hike or something like that. So that's where your automatic or machine assisted threat hunting comes into picture. But again, a false positive comes into picture where there is machine learning and analytics, and then your manual intervention comes where you need to analyze those logs. So that's what is SIEM. The SIEM is a platform where you connect all those logs. There should be some useful logs which will be help us to make a threat hunting program more effective. So collecting logs and collecting more useful logs would be more useful. So endpoint logs, the network level logs, the perimeter level logs, the proxy level logs, you need to collect such important logs. And then once you have all those logs into your platform, a single platform, may it be SIEM, may it be the log management solution, or may it be any kind of threat hunting platform which uses analytics, you can just run your search queries based on the any kind of maliciousness behavior of an adversary, and then you need to proceed with the threat hunting queries of the threat hunting program which you have initiated. In addition to those manual search queries, you also have your threat intelligence feeds into your SIEM. You also have your machine assisted way of UEBA and machine learning way, which will help you to identify any kind of maliciousness into the SIEM. But yes, your manual intervention always comes into picture. So that's why I always said a combination of manual and a machine assisted way of threat hunting would be the best way to obtain an effective threat hunting. So we'll be looking at some example of hunts in our next part. So that's all for this part. Thank you very much. Bye bye.